just wanted to talk quickly about probably one of the best upgrades you can possibly get for really the money, and sort of something to really help you with, you know, actual power and actual functionality. So I wanted to talk today about the COBB Accessport. So for a Focus ST, or for a Fiesta ST, or Mazda Speed 3, or a Volkswagen GTI, which they just came out with the Accessport for that. There's also a few other cars with EcoBoost engines for Ford that have an Accessport compatibility as well, which is super nice. So couple things about the Accessport. So it's sort of a gauge cluster that can tell you, you know, it can give you shift lights, it can give you your vehicle speed, it can give you your inlet temperature, it can give you a whole mass of different gauges that are really, really nice to have. It also have a shift light, in addition to launch control, flat-foot shifting. You know, there's a bunch of things that come with the actual Accessport tune, and it's super nice. And for, I don't want to say a minimum fee of $500, because $500 for, you know, car parts is actually really, you know, sort of expensive, but, you know, it's cheaper than an exhaust, and it actually gives you real performance. You know, people will tell you that, you know, getting an exhaust, or getting, you know, a cold air intake, or you know, for a turbo engine, that I don't want to say it doesn't do anything, but dyno graphs and charts without an actual tune with those specific parts does not really do anything. So I believe that either something similar to this, if you don't have, you know, a Ford Focus ST, or, you know, any EcoBoost engine that that Ford has, if you have anything else, I think it's a really good, like, you need to find a similar tuner, or you know, a similar modification that you can get for that car. Because, for example, I know that Volkswagen and Audi have our APR is a great brand for them, and they make tunes and similar things to how COBB has it. So I believe that, you know, it's a really good bang for your buck, where you get performance, you get the gauge clusters that you want, not like these stupid gauge clusters that they have here on the Focus ST, or the you know, the EcoBoost Mustang. But yeah, honestly, this is probably the best modification that you can get for your money. So what you get with this is basically the off-the-shelf tunes. So basically, with this modification, if you do a stage 1 tune, which my car has currently, it basically adds, what is it? It's like 70 pound-feet of torque to the wheels. And honestly, the modification is great. Like, this car already has a lot of torque, and just adding that much more torque to it makes the car feel that much faster. And it actually isn't that much faster, because you know, torque just gives you that feeling of being fast. It doesn't up the horsepower at all, actually. The horsepower figure stays the same, but the torque figure jumps tremendously. Moving on to the other customizations of the actual Accessport, when I first bought it, the Accessport would not turn off, so the gauge cluster and all of that stuff wouldn't turn off automatically. COBB has actually continuously updated this, and so you get the option of actually having it auto turn off based on the RPM range. So if it's at 0, the Accessport will actually turn off by itself, which is super cool and really awesome. So you don't have to actually physically turn it off by yourself. In addition to a bunch of all the gauge clusters, I mean, like I said, there's the inlet temperature, or sorry, it's the charge temperature, which is something that you like to see. And you can data log with this. You can actually correct error codes, or sorry, not error codes, but yeah, error codes, but engine error codes. And there's also a 0 to 60 time, which I've tested out before, and it's actually not very good at the moment. It might have changed with the newer update, new firmware update. So I'd say every month or so, COBB actually comes out with a new firmware update for the Accessport, which in the past I've seen it give it map switching. So at the moment I've just hit the cancel reset, and it shows me that I'm on map 1 on my RPM rev range. And then if I hit that and actually press sets plus, it goes to the different map that we have, and it's preset without the actual Pro Tune. You can actually set these up, but the Accessport has also received an update which you can specifically set it on the Accessport. If you select a specific slot, you can retune it to be, you know, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, or you can even have it do a custom tune. In addition to the stage 1 tune, it also has an eco mode. So the eco mode is actually interesting. I actually tested this out with a couple of takes of gas and got an average of 1 to 2 miles per gallon better of fuel economy. So if you're into that, it has that as well. And like I was saying before, it has, so if you have California gas, there's different map tunes. So there's 87 octane tune, a 91 octane, and a 93 octane tune, which is super cool, very customizable. And I actually use an 87 octane tune for the wintertime, because honestly, in Chicago in the wintertime, you can't even use any of the power. So when you change it to an 87 octane tune, you know, you get less horsepower, but you get basically the same figure of the torque figure. So it still feels fast. I actually can barely tell the difference, which is kind of weird. And I know I'll get a bunch of trolls that say, you're an idiot for doing an 87 octane tune and whatnot, but you know, save a couple bucks here and there. Overall, it's definitely one of the best mods you can possibly do. Honestly, I think it's the #1 mod that you should make for your car if you want something that changes the actual power figures and actually makes a difference feeling wise. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you want specific directions, if you want to know specifically how much time it takes to actually change the tune in your car or install it on your car, you know, it's actually really quick. I can put links below to the actual to where to purchase it. You can probably find some of these new, or you can probably find some of these used for, you know, a couple $100 off, or maybe $50 off or so. But yeah, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.